Hello and welcome to a quick look at Life is Strange, which is the new game from Remember Me developers Don't Nod. Just described what it was on the screen there, story-based adventure game, kind of in the Telltale mould. So if you've played Walking Dead, Wolf Among Us or any of those, Game of Thrones, blah blah blah, you know what to expect kind of here. Difference is there's quite a few more decisions to make, and the story's very different. It's very grounded in a sort of reality. I don't want to say reality because the game kind of opens with something that's not something you see every day. But this is our heroine, Max Caulfield. She's just turned 18 and she's moved back to her old hometown. I forget what it's called now, but she moved from Seattle and she's back at school. It's a bit awkward. She doesn't really know everyone anymore. Her old friend Chloe has changed a lot. Yeah, this is where the game picks up. Max just in the forest, kind of a bit bemused, doesn't quite know what's going on.
So we're going to look at the first 18 or so minutes of the game. We're not going to put much audio in, just because there's a lot of spoilers, and this is more to give people a sample of the game as opposed to spoiling it for anyone. Because we never want that, Rich.
No, of course not. And this is actually, this chunk you'll see here is actually what Square Enix and Don't Nod are putting out there as a trial. So you can actually download this portion of the game to give it a try and see if you like it first before buying it. So
do you think this is enough to give an indication of what the game's like? I
think so, yeah. It gives you a few small decisions. It kind of shows you the events that set everything in motion. Although it's worth noting that there are a lot more decisions to make beyond this. There's little things that you might not think necessarily have much of an impact, but they soon come back on you later on. And that's where the rewind mechanic comes in as well.
How far can you rewind?
You can tap the bumper or the shoulder to rewind to your last decision, or you can hold it and you can. There's a little spiral in the top left corner, and that shows how far you rewind. And while you're rewinding, everything moves except you. You're the one constant.
Okay.
So anything you've collected, you keep, and any knowledge that you've learned prior, you retain that knowledge.
So you can take objects back that you pick up later on back in time with you, and then do you play out the game from that point on again?
Yeah. So basically, they play with that mechanic a bit later on. So this is me just kind of getting a feel for it. This is me playing. Obviously, I'm not playing now. I played at Square Enix's offices. So yeah, I'm just examining what's on the desk and stuff. I'm in the photography class. This is the teacher. I think she has a bit of a crush on him, maybe. And I'm about to take a selfie.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Well, I've actually watched back this footage when I was put it in the timeline, and he has a nice little anecdote about that selfies aren't a new age term. Selfies have been around for hundreds, if not thousands, well, probably hundreds of years.
And I think he says it's a dumb word.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he's not happy with it. But yeah, it's just, it's kind of. I talked to what's his name, Jean-Max Maurice about the game, and he said that the vibe they were going for was sort of an indie film kind of style. He talked about Jeff Nichols movies a lot. I don't know if you've seen any of those, like Mud, the Matthew McConaughey movie. I've not seen any of them.
No, can't say I have.
That's the tone they're going for. But it reminds me of kind of those high school-y American movies.
So this is what I noticed though. I mean, the dialogue choices don't seem as often as a Telltale game, and they don't seem as like you don't get as many choices. Is that fair to say? I mean, I've only seen the first 20 minutes. How does it play out for the next? How long is the first episode? For like 2 hours?
Yeah, it's a couple of hours.
So how long does it? What does it play out like for the rest of the 2 hours?
Well,
was dialogue really not that important? It's more action as opposed.
I was going to say, you get more moments where you're controlling Max and walking around. You got this journal you can consult and stuff, and you can collect these pictures of all the different characters in the game, and you learn a bit about them. But decisions-wise, I mean, it's mostly looking at items and interacting with them that you find. Not so many interactions with other characters where dialogue is concerned. It's mostly. I look at that photo twice. Whoops. Where you're just sort of chatting with them and watching, and you maybe make the odd binary sort of dialogue choice. It's a little different to Telltale.
Yeah, some interesting stuff in this. After we see the big twist, well, not the big twist, but the big kind of change in this quick look. That when you come back to do the dialogue, you see the time mechanic in place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that the kind of things that happens for the rest of it? It's just like you learn stuff and then you go back to conversations. And then you know what to say.
Yeah, absolutely. So everything you've just seen happen in this class just now, she'll remember that. I mean, Max doesn't actually know she can manipulate time just yet. She's going to find that out later.
Yeah.
And,
this episode, though.
Yeah, this episode. Like,
well, this quick look as well.
Yeah, this is where she finds out.
But obviously, what she can do is in this first 20 minutes, you only see like a glimpse of what she can do.
Yeah, and there's other stuff.
And it scratches the surface, right?
Absolutely. And when I played it at Square Enix, Don't Nod showed us a little bit of episode 2 and how your decisions will permeate into that and change things. And don't want to spoil anything, but there's more messing with the time stuff that's potentially quite interesting. So
more choice and consequence in the Telltale game?
Well, possibly. I mean, I've only played episode 1, but you know, at the end of a Telltale game, you get, say, 5 or 6 decisions you've made, and it says so and so made this decision, like the community or whatever. At the end of this, you get the same kind of screen at the end, but it's pages. So there's loads of stuff. There's a page of the big decisions that matter, and there's quite a few of those, and you can compare with your friends as well, not just the community. I could see what you've done, see what Lee's done, whoever. And then you turn the page and there's like dozens, a couple of dozen maybe, of little decisions. Like, there's characters I completely missed in my playthrough. So I'd like be compelled to go back and actually interact with that character.
What, replay it or just...
Yeah, I'd replay the episode.
Would you really?
Absolutely,
Making the same choice, it's just meeting new people?
Yeah, possibly. Possibly, I don't know, maybe I would change some of the stuff. I mean, you can rewind and you can change things, but... You know, when you're in a game like this, you want to play as honestly as you can. I know I do.
When you play as you would. I mean, some people either play good, some people play evil. A lot of people play as they would.
Or I project what would the character do a little bit as well. I think, what would Max do?
Oh, I don't care about Max.
No? Okay.
I am Max.
Did Max you not in like GTA play as Trevor, like thinking I can be violent and crazy, but if you're playing as Michael or Franklin, you kind of rein it in a bit?
Yeah.
So it's that kind of thing, I feel. But yeah, so you get to a bit of freedom here, just to explore. And there's this missing girl as well, who is friends with Chloe, and there's a whole mystery there.
Does this play into the plot later on?
Yeah. Not in the first episode so much, but I have a feeling it's going to be quite a significant part of the later episodes. Again, like Telltale, it's a 5-episode season,
same price
each. Yeah, same price as Telltale stuff. I think it's $4.99, £3.99 an episode, and $15.99, $19.99 for the season pass.
I think it's something that can work, because I love Telltale games, mostly for the storytelling, but I've always wanted to have more control over what's going on, and if it can offer that kind of control. I mean, in this first 20 minutes we don't really get to see much of the choice and consequence, do we?
Not really, no. That comes into play a lot later on, but you get a kind of impression of how much stuff you can interact with.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't really get that in the Telltale game, do you? You can interact with various things, but not all this stuff. I mean, like this bit, you know, I didn't need to do that.
And you didn't have to go straight to the bathroom, right? You could look around.
I could look around the school more, yeah. I was just very wary that we'd be making this video, and I thought, let's keep it a little bit focused.
That's good.
So she's just washing her face, and this is the photo she was going to submit to the art teacher, but she's not happy with it.
She's a perfectionist.
Yeah, she thinks it's crap, basically. But
and this is where shit starts to get real now, right?
Yeah, this is where this is kind of the pivotal moment. Kind of a little heavy-handed with the metaphor here, that the butterfly effect. Literally, there's a butterfly there.
You know, how else would you do it?
I guess.
Without being like.
Yeah, but anyway.
Not obvious.
So this is the butterfly effect. So you take a photo. This is a picture you're going to try and submit to the art teacher as a better example of your work.
Butterfly, a beauty on a bin.
Yeah, there you go.
And like a mop bucket.
Mop bucket, yeah. So she'll keep that photo now. So yeah.
Maybe you can use that later on then, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So even if she rewinds time, no matter what happens, she has that thing.
Although, I noticed you didn't get the option to give it to the art teacher, so it might be that she doesn't know she retains stuff till later or something.
Yeah.
So, you know, she's still getting to grips with her power.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is a new power. You don't know the full extent of your new power until a certain way down the line. And obviously this is the big kind of pivotal point in it where...
Yeah. So this is Max's friend Chloe. She's dyed her hair blue and stuff. She's a bit different to Max. And she's got some sort of feud here with, I can't remember what this guy's called, but...
irrelevant.
He's a bit of a dick. Now he pops up quite a bit in the episode. But, yeah, he's a tosser.
And he has a gun, and he's 18, and he's in school.
Yeah. So, a little bit topical, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, you have to make decisions like how do you deal with this guy later on as well.
And what's this over? Is this drugs, right?
It's money, I think. I don't know whether there's drugs involved, but here you go. She's a stressful situation. It's brought out her power. And she's able to rewind for the first time. And you're back in class.
What the fuck?
It's like, bang. So there you go.
So now it teaches the mechanic, and then...
So, yeah, you can... So, she's obviously crying because she's just had the trauma of what's just happened in her head, and she's like, what the hell am I doing here back in class? Replaying, you know, the same moment over.
So can you rewind an entire episode?
No. I think there's limits to the rewind thing. Yeah, otherwise you could just... yeah.
Get to the end and then rewind it with all the cool shit.
Absolutely.
That'd be a good achievement there.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool.
Okay, if I'm crazy.
So, yeah, I'm just sort of panning the camera and thinking, what do I do next? But, yeah, it tells you, hold left trigger to rewind, you see a little spiral there, so that's how far you can go back.
So I guess that's seconds, right?
Yeah, and there's little circles within that spiral on the line that denote a decision. So if you want to just zap back to a decision, it'll take it to that little circle within that line. So it's a good way to just quickly rewind instead of having to hold the trigger every time.
So if you could rewind time for 2 minutes, it's like Next, right? Have you ever seen Next?
I haven't seen it.
That's Nicolas Cage, right?
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
It's horrific, but it's the same concept. Oh, it's Next? Hold on, is it called Next?
Or is it that other one where he has premonitions? Is that Next? I don't know. Anyway, it's
but he can see like 2 minutes into the future.
Yeah, I think it is Next.
Yeah. So if you had that ability, I mean, how could you, apart from saving someone's life, how would this fit into real?
If you burnt a pizza, you could go back.
You can only go back 2 minutes though, right?
Yeah, you know, it could be the difference between the cheese turning black and it, you know, being a nice golden brown.
Okay.
It all matters.
So that's what you'd do.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, you couldn't really save the world with it, right?
No, you couldn't do
but
much, right?
In this instance, she's obviously saved someone's life.
Yeah.
So her powers have limits.
Yeah, there's limits to it, but I mean, still fairly powerful within this.
It's pretty shit though, right?
Thing.
As far as superpowers go, imagine you could turn back time, like, and just go back weeks. But you can go back 2 minutes. It's a bit of a taunt. It's like, oh man, 2 minutes and 5 seconds.
I'd quite like to fast forward time sometimes.
Really?
Or when you're in a shitty situation, you're like...
On a flight?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like if I could, like if I'm on a jet to E3, if I could just fast forward that flight, that'd be brilliant. Yeah, so you see the little dot on the, that's your last decision.
Yeah.
If you start to rewind too far, you saw it breaking up a little bit then, yeah. It's like you're tearing at the fabric of time or something.
So the experience they've taken from Remember Me has come across into this? Because you could rewind scenes on that.
They like their time stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think that's where they said the idea maybe originated from.
So that was a perfect example of her using information from after the point, rewinding and then using it in the point, right?
So she got one over on the bitch girl.
The bitch girl,
basically.
Who gave it the Targaryen process.
Yeah.
Which sounded too much like Targaryen. And I was well into Game of Thrones, and I was like, oh yeah.
The Targaryen process.
But she does that again now, doesn't she? Actually, a couple of times? Oh no, just once.
I think it's just that once.
With the John Lennon quote.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, but there's a whole back and forth as well between you and the bitch girl, and I was speaking with people afterwards actually, and your relationship with her can totally be one way or another depending on how you talk to her.
Yeah.
So I was horrible back to her, and someone else was nice to her.
Okay.
And it's interesting the difference there, and I wonder how that will play into later episodes. Whether
Is this out this week?
it's out the 30th. So today, while we're recording this, is the 26th.
It'll be up on the 26th.
So it'll be up today, yeah. So it's out in a few days.
26th, what, Thursday?
Where are we now? Monday? Friday? Thursday? Friday? Friday. I think it's Friday. Anyway, January 30th.
Yeah, because the 3rd is Monday.
Okay.
So, I'm looking forward to get my hands on this.
It's really good. It's really good. What I've played of it so far, I've enjoyed. And it's worth noting as well that even though you have to replay these events through, you can skip the cutscenes. You don't have to
rewatch them.
Sit through them every time. You can just press the right bumper. And I found myself doing that quite a bit.
Really? But they're different, right? Because you're changing them.
Yeah, I skipped that one because he does say the same things basically.
I think John Lennon once said that.
But yeah, so
but then obviously from this point on it's different though, right?
Not
Because you said something different.
Oh yeah, from this point onwards, yeah, because I've said the John Lennon quote and he's like, oh great, yeah, that's
something like I would say.
So I'm basically off the hook with this guy now.
So I guess you could do that. I mean, with the 2 minutes thing, you could go into a job interview and test out all the responses.
Yeah, absolutely. That's true. You could.
You could also, I don't know.
Go into a job interview.
If there's somebody that you liked, you could test his or her response to some things like.
Get your coat, you've pulled. No, wait, you didn't like that.
Hi, would you like to go for a drink? Oh yeah, sure. Alright, so I'll let that one go.
Actually, would be really handy for getting out of a scrape.
Especially with police officers as well. Speeding tickets, like, I might try this.
Yeah.
Alright mate, here's 50 quid, let me off. Yeah, sure. Or
no. Or you're going to prison.
Yeah, and then you rewind it and then you go, okay, here you go officer, here's my licence.
No, 200 quid. Right, so this is where she's trying to change the events. But oh no, the hammer's not on the little thing. Where is it? Ah! It's under the janitor's trolley thingy. So there you go, that's explaining you're not affected by the rewind, you retain facts and inventory objects. So I can rewind, I've still got the little hammer, I can smash the fire alarm before anything happens. Crisis averted.
And this is the end of the Life is Strange quick look. I do believe, Mr. Walker.
It is indeed. So thank you for joining us, and it's out January 30th. Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye.
Bye bye.
That did not happen. This cannot be real. I just saw a girl get shot and then saved her. What the fuck is going on? Do not freak out.